So I bought this because I wanted to get a deeper appreciation for art. But as you can tell, this thing is a bit much for me, especially as a beginner. So instead, I read, and let me tell you why this book is fantastic. One of the reasons why I love this book so much is that it connects my faith with my love of history and my desire to want to learn about art all in one. The book is titled Rembrandt Is in the Wind. But despite the title, it covers 9 different artists and the impact that they had on the artistic world and the impact that their faith had on them. And that's one of the great things about this book is that not only does it go over a different variety of artists, but it really gives you a sense of who they are with its nice narrative style. It gives you a sense of why they created art, the culture in which they created, and the impact that they had on the larger art scene of their time. And this book ties each one of those things back to faith somehow. Whether that's the author's devotion to God, their struggles with their faith, or their complete lack of faith in God, it seamlessly ties all those stories together in order to give us some practical application for our lives, as well as giving us information about art in general. All of the chapters were excellent, but there were 3 that I particularly enjoyed, and that was the chapter on Michelangelo, Rembrandt, and Edward Hopper. Each chapter more or less had one center piece that was created by that artist around which both the narrative of that artist's life and the faith reflection were centered on. For example, the chapter on Michelangelo focused on the statue of David and our pursuit for perfection and ideal forms of beauty or things that will outlast us. The chapter on Rembrandt really focused on the painting The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, which served as the catalyst for talking about the storms that happened in Rembrandt's life, as well as the ones that we struggle with in our own. And the Edward and Josephine Hopper chapter focused on loneliness and isolation and the impact that can have on our lives and how we treat others. One thing that I really appreciated is that the book features a section that has full color images, which is something I really appreciated when I was on the go, taking my kids to an activity or something. Although I did find myself looking up high resolution images just to really hone in on the details and the things that I thought the artist might have been doing or something that I just wanted to focus on. But that is a nice touch. The appendices were also really helpful as they give you a guide on how to visit a museum and how to look at a piece of art. They also gave a concise overview of the history of Western art from the Renaissance up to the modern era. As always, I would like to share 3 quotes from this book that not only give you a good sense of what the book is like, but also impacted me in some way. I would like to hear which ones impacted you, so make sure you let me know in the comments. You don't have to write the whole quote out, just 1, 2, or 3, and we can start a discussion from there. So here is the first quote. "So many things in our world are beautiful, but didn't need to be. God chose to make them that way so he might arrest his people by their senses to awaken us from the slumbering economy of pragmatism. That awakening is a vital function of beauty. This is the gift of beauty from an artist to their community, to awaken our senses to the world as God made it, and to awaken our senses to God himself." Beauty isn't just about aesthetics. It's a wake-up call. It's God's way of shaking us out of our daily grind, out of just simply going through the motions. Whether it's a sunset, a painting, or a piece of music, beauty has the power to make us pause and contemplate God's creation, and in it see his invisible qualities and know that he is real. It's like God is using art to remind us that there is more to life than just getting things done. We were meant to feel, to experience, to connect with something greater than ourselves. Beauty is God's way of drawing the eyes of our souls away from the dust and up, back to him. This is quote number 2, and he says, "Perfection inhabits our true home, but we are walking in a distant country. We are like revenants. On the other side of the veil is the tangible glory of unfailing perfection, but it is just out of reach. So we have given ourselves to the pursuit of making copies from the dust of the earth, compressed by time, crafted by pressure, but conceived by something more than mere imagination. Our best attempts at achieving perfection this side of glory come from an innate awareness that it not only exists, but that we were made for it. Our longing for perfection is rooted in this deep truth, that we were made to live in a perfect home with God. But sin has introduced a brokenness into our world that makes perfection seem just out of reach. Our efforts to create beauty, to pursue excellence here in this life are like shadows of the perfection that exists only in Christ. Every time we try to capture or achieve something perfect, it is just a reminder of our deep yearning for what we lost in Eden, but what Christ promises to restore. And here is the final quote. When our seas are calm, we regard them as safe. We say, I know these waters like the back of my hand. But what we mean is, we know these waters when they are still, and when our boats are sound, and when the sun is out, and when our supplies are in order. And that, as it turns out, has nothing to do with actually knowing what churns in the depths or what gathers in the heavens. When a storm breaks out, we have much to learn. Think about how often we feel secure in our faith when everything is going well and things are going according to plan. It's easy for us to say we know and love God when everything is predictable and calm and going our way. But what happens when the storm hits and chaos ensues in our lives? That's when our true understanding of faith is tested. It's not in the peaceful moments of life when our faith grows. It's in trials and difficult moments. Those storms reveal how deeply we must rely on God, and they teach us about His power and His grace in a way that we cannot learn when the seas are calm and life is simple. Real faith is about trusting God through the rough seas and not just when the waters are calm. So which one of those 3 quotes did you like the most? Make sure to let me know down below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Rembrandt Is in the Wind by Russ Ramsey is a book that I would recommend to anyone. Even if you didn't think you wanted to learn about art, you can still take away so much from this book that I would recommend. And look, it's short. It's not a long book by any means. One form of art that I really like that this book didn't cover is film, and I did a whole video on the Christian themes in the Lord of the Rings franchise. If you think that sounds really cool, I guarantee you'll enjoy it. You can watch the video here on this link. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. On this particular video, if you haven't done so, comment, let me know which of the quotes you liked and what you think about this book. I'll see you next time. Stay blessed, stay bookmarked.